All island transportation strike reportedly looming. Following a meeting on June 5th involving stakeholders and the All Island Traffic Authority, an island-wide transportation strike is reportedly looming, potentially triggering the reinstatement of driver's license suspensions due to accumulated demerit points. In response to the recommendation, operators have threatened to withdraw their service come Monday, June 10, for 5 days. Transportation Minister Darrell Valls has said that he is fully aware of the intention of some operators to strike, describing the proposed action as premature in light of an upcoming meeting scheduled for June 11 to fully ventilate such matters. There has been some misinformation being circulated by misinformed persons agitating the disruption on the transport sector, stated Voss in a tweet. As always, I use the 3 Ts in my approach: consultation, collaboration, and communication, he stated. Similarly, President of the Transport Authority Development Sustainable Services Studs, Hector Newman, had sought to dissuade members of his group from participating in the strike action. We have seen no reason whatsoever to participate or give support to any plans to withdraw service on Monday, June 10, 2024, which we'll understand will last for 5 days, Newman stated in a release. Whatever the challenges are, we have several mediums to ventilate our concerns. Over the past 2 weeks, we have been having consultation with various groups and agencies of government, and they have been very receptive to our concerns. Our concerns can also be referred to the courts. Todd is calling on all when-thinking public transport leaders and operators, especially those in the Kingston Metropolitan Transport Region, to continue the consultation with the powers that be, while at the same time continuing to provide the best travel experience to the commuting public, he added. Indicom investigating motorcycle incident involving St. Elizabeth Police. The Independent Commission of Investigations, Indicom, says it is probing an incident involving members of the St. Elizabeth Police who were chasing a motorcyclist in Pepper on Saturday. A video shows the rider on the ground shaking after an interaction with 2 cops. Hamish Campbell, Assistant Commissioner of Indicom, confirmed the development on Sunday. Indicom is aware of this incident shown on social media video. We are in the process of investigating it and seeking to get the full facts, he told reporters. The amateur video, 4 minutes and 31 seconds in length, appear to have been recorded by persons traveling behind the police chase. 2 policemen, each on a motorcycle, were seen in the video, seemingly trying to apprehend the rider, who was accompanied by a pillion. Signals to stop were not complied with. The bike with the 2 men appeared to have developed a skid on reaching a section of the road in which to stop very slowly after the side of the roadway. The cops stopped and walked towards the men. It is not clear from the video what happened next. The pillion was observed on the side of the road. The video later showed the rider shaking on the ground in the bush nearby. One of the policemen was standing over him. At this point, the other cop was back on the road and using a phone. A crowd has also started to gather, and some persons were heard urging the men to take him to the hospital. The policeman and another man carried the rider and placed him in a blue car that was parked on the opposite side of the road. Indicom said it did not have the information on the rider's status. Yamhead charged for murdering St. Mary truck driver. A 3rd man has been charged with the murder of 59-year-old truck driver Winston Wheeler at his home in Days Mountain, Arcabesa, St. Mary in March. The latest accused is 29-year-old Shaquille Wilson, otherwise called Yamhead, a laborer also from Days Mountain. Along with murder, Wilson is charged with possession of prohibited weapon, unauthorized possession of ammunition, using a firearm to commit a felony, burglary, and conspiracy to commit robbery with aggravation. Wilson was arrested when he reported to the police on condition of bail in a separate matter on June 1, according to a police statement issued on Sunday. He was charged on Saturday after being pointed out on an identification parade. Wilson and his 2 co-accused are set to appear in the St. Mary Parish Court on June 14. The other 2 men are 20-year-old O.J. Hellgate Bilgnall from Blacksmith Lane, Seaford in St. Thomas, and 21-year-old laborer Miles Beckford, otherwise called Scrubber, of Days Mountain address. They were slapped with similar charges in April. The police report that about 12:45 a.m. on March 30, Wheeler was at home with his family member when Wilson and Bignall, allegedly kicked off the kitchen door and opened gunfire, hitting him. He received several gunshot wounds before running outside, where he collapsed. The injured man was assisted to hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Thompson Hero carried off track following 100 meter at the NYC Grand Prix. Five-time Olympic gold medalist Elaine Thompson-Herro on Sunday had to be lifted off the track at the New York Grand Prix in the stadium in Manhattan. It is reported that Thompson-Herro injured her ankles while running the 100-meter track event. The back-to-back Olympic Games sprint double champion finished last in 11.48 seconds, but immediately removed her shoe and was limping. This was Thompson-Herro's first outing since the Performing Classic in Eugene, Oregon, 2 weeks ago, where she finished last in 11.30 seconds. CCTV reportedly catches man removing $725,000 worth of jewelry from store. The police on Friday charged a man who was allegedly caught on CCTV footage removing gold necklaces valued at $725,000 from a store in Kingston Street in Kingston. The alleged incident happened on Wednesday, May 18. The accused is 35-year-old Dwayne Powell of Tivoli. Powell is charged with simple larceny. Allegations are that Powell entered a furniture store on King Street and discreetly removed the gold necklaces. An investigation was launched and Powell was subsequently arrested. He was placed on an identification parade where it was pointed out by the complainant, the police stated. He was officially charged on Friday, June 7. Release or retry. Lawyers representing dancehall star Vybz Kartel and his co-accused, Sean Storm Campbell, Kara Jones, and Andre St. John, are headed to the Court of Appeal this morning in another bid to secure their freedom. But prosecutors from the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions will be in court trying to convince the panel of judges that the four should face a first trial for the 2011 murder of Clive Lizard Williams. The Court of Appeal is scheduled to begin hearing arguments today to determine whether to order a retrial for the four or set them free. The hearing is scheduled to last for 5 days, with lawyers on both sides having submitted skills on argument to the court last month. Kartel and his co-accused are back before the Court of Appeal after a March 14 ruling by the Judicial Committee of the Privy Council that the appeals against their convictions should be allowed and their convictions quashed on the grounds of jury misconduct. The Privy Council further ruled that the case should be remitted to the Court of Appeal for it to decide whether to order a retrial of the men or a dismissal. In April 2014, Kartel was sentenced to life with eligibility of parole after serving 35 years. His co-accused were also handed life sentences, with Sean Storm and Jones being eligible for parole after serving 25 years, and St. John being eligible for serving parole after 15 years. The four men first appealed their sentences in the Court of Appeal, but the convictions were upheld. They then journeyed to the Privy Council and argued various grounds, including the admissibility of telecommunications evidence, allegations of jury misconduct, and undue pressure on the jury to reach a verdict after a late retirement. The Privy Council sided with lawyers representing the men as it accepted that the jury had been tainted and one of the jurors offered a bribe to his colleague to return a not guilty verdict. According to the Privy Council, while it had considerable sympathy with the dilemma faced by the judge in the murder trial following discovery of jury tampering attempts, allowing the tainted jury to continue in the case was fatal to the verdict. The board is very mindful of the serious consequences which may flow from having a discharged jury shortly before the end of a long and complex trial. It is also very conscious of the danger of deliberate attempts to derail criminal trials by engineering situations in which it is necessary to discharge a juror, Lloyd Jones said in delivering the judgment. He added that there should not be no questioning of allowing to enter jury to continue as doing so, but putting the safety of the verdict at risk and was an infringement of the defendant's fundamental rights to a fair hearing. Following the Privy Council's ruling, lawyers representing Kartel and two of his co-accused made an unsuccessful application for them to be considered for bail. But Supreme Court Justice Thomas ruled that in the absence of a verdict of acquittal by the Privy Council, the charge of murder remained in effect for Kartel, Campbell, and St. John. In declaring that their present custodial status was not a breach of the Constitution, Justice Thomas took a packed courtroom of the Supreme Court in downtown Kingston that, in view of the fact that their appeal is not yet determined, they should remain in custody until their appeal is concluded. That is, until a verdict of acquittal is entered or there is a decision for a retrial, Thomas stated. One co-accused, Jones, who is reportedly facing another charge, was not included in the application. Remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.